Hey.
Cool. That's better.
I hear it.
You hear it because you're in Discord. My mic decided to reset itself in Streamlabs because I want to throw the whole thing out a window. No, we're good. So we're going to be playing Call of Cthulhu. I am actually running the Edge of Darkness scenario from the starter kit. If you are interested in playing COC, I highly recommend the starter kit. It actually breaks everything down really well so that you're not combing through this to try to learn the game. But I do have the book in case we need it. This is COC. This is 7th edition, the 1920s setting. So we're going to do all of that. I want to give a little warning ahead of time. This is a tale of madness and horror, and to our viewers who may find such things challenging or difficult, I recommend that you either catch the story later when you can pause and walk away, or perhaps this is not the right game for you to be observing. So just a fair warning with that. And then also, we want to recognize the fact that Call of Cthulhu is absolutely fascinating. The Cthulhu mythos is fascinating. H.P. Lovecraft was a complete dick. So we're just gonna go with that. And also not a good writer. Like, there are a lot of people who are like, oh, the Dunwich Horror. I'm like, he was not a good writer. He tried, but he was also a massive racist. So
yeah,
we're gonna take him, ball him up, put him in the trash can with all the other racists, and acknowledge that the Cthulhu mythos is interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we're gonna go with this. All right, my investigators, are you ready?
Nope.
As ready as I can be.
As ready as we can do this, because none of us know the rules. We do, but we don't. So you all are going to be starting in the hospital of Arkham, Massachusetts. So this is Arkham General, and you've all recently been contacted by a Rupert Merriweather. So you know him. Your connection to him may be through academics, maybe he was a neighbor or a family friend, but you've all been summoned there, and it's kind of curious. None of you have really seen him in quite some time, so you're wondering why in the world would he want us to come to his sickbed. That's odd. He's asked you to meet him at the hospital. It's 1 o'clock on a Thursday. And his summons seemed urgent, frighteningly so. And you wonder, does he have something to tell me before he passes? So, a few of you wanted to start in the room, considering we have a priest in our midst.
It's me, guys. I'm the priest.
Can you tell? And some of you will be just walking in. So let's go ahead and go around and introduce ourselves. That robe is not going to last. Holy crap. So let's start with, on my screen, I see Kelly first with his priest garb. I got nothing, man. I got nothing. So why don't you introduce yourself and your character?
Well, I am Father Stefan. Give me a moment. Pause for dramatic effect. Skipowski.
Uh-huh.
Father Stefan is fine.
Thank you. I love that you're laughing at yourself. I appreciate that. Yes. ridiculous. I should also say that I do believe horror should come with a dose of laughter, so that it isn't all going to be dark and creepy. We're probably going to be laughing, but at the same time, my intention is to kill someone and also drive them insane. So,
I mean, we need a platform to fall from, right? I mean, the higher we seem happy, the farther we have to fall.
exactly.
Man speaks truth.
Father, are you in the room or are you coming into the room in this moment?
I'm in the room. I'm
You're in
reading
the room.
his last rites.
Okay, very good.
Rites.
Got it. So, Gabriel, how about you?
My name is Maximilian Hirt, or Hirt, whatever you want to call it. I am a parapsychologist, and I have been summoned by him as a means to talk to him before he dies, so he knows what happened around him, because he dealt with some pretty crazy shit.
I will say, Maximilian, you've definitely heard some stories about Merryweather and his... He got into some dark stuff in his younger days. And as you walk into the room, you can see he's clearly very ill. He has that hollowed out, frail look of someone who's been bedridden for some time. His skin is very papery looking. We've all seen this, visiting folks in hospitals. And he does acknowledge you with kind of a little wave and goes back to focusing on what this priest is saying. Okay, so that's Maximilian. How about you, James?
I'm David Wilcox, but you mere mortals can call me the Amazing Kragan. I'm a stage magician. Rupert was quite familiar with my shows. He came regularly. We talked about the occult, the paranormal, all things wicked and wonderful. I have to be performing in the area, hence the get-up. And he asked me to come see him tonight of all nights. And, well, afternoon, morning. Vague time zone of all vague time zones.
What is time? I find myself asking that every day. Do you come dressed like that?
Yes, it's amazing.
Thank you. I just needed that mental image. There's a priest in the room, there's a parapsychologist coming into the room, and then there's this guy.
Yeah. The father's going to raise an eyebrow.
It's probably appropriate. The room's getting a little crowded. As you all come in, I will say that you do see Rupert's wife in the corner, older woman with the steel gray hair that's pulled up in like a shinnegan, and she's wearing a very proper dress. This is the 1920s, late 1920s, and there is a thin, for lack of a better word, a weaselly, greasy young man sitting beside her in a three-piece suit that the buttons are off by one. And he just kind of, gives this disapproving look at all of you while patting this woman's hand. So then, Noelle.
Hi. I'm Geraldine. I'm a journalist, so I know him. I used him as a scholarly source on some of the articles I've written. And I'm just entering the room. What's up?
We got a muckraker coming in. and a lady muckraker in the 1920s.
No.
You are primed for trouble, ma'am. And then last but certainly not least, our brand new friend, KP.
Hi, everybody. I will be playing Prince Alwinder Roy Tagore from Rajasthan. He is a young 18-year-old, kind of wiry-looking, almost boyish look about him. You see him wearing, trying to be looking very professional, but he has like a three-piece suit, not a three-piece suit, like an olden time tweed suit up on top, like the top part. But then traditional Indian, it's called a dhoti, which is pretty much what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a toga, but it's the Indian style of just a cloth wrap that you use. It's very common in old India around that time. You see a nice thin pencil mustache that he's very carefully shaven into shape because that's pretty much all the facial hair he has to grow. And his hair is nicely combed and looks very prim and proper. And you can see him like kind of trying to hold a very, posh, not posh, but like a austere and straight backed posture that he could, but he's still very much a kid. So you can see him like shifting on his feet back and forth.
Oh my god, I love it already. Oh, this is a really interesting. And it's like you walk into the room. What should we call you? Alwinder? Should we call you Prince? Like what works?
Alwinder is perfectly fine. He's only Prince by name, but he's like the 5th son, so he has no real rights to any royalty. He actually went to Oxford, or he's currently attending Oxford University to try learn more about the occult and about just the weird and the strange, which kind of isn't what his father wanted him to be. He wanted him to be more like a doctor or a politician to help, help the kingdom. But he's like, nah, that's not my thing. So, very much estranged from the family and from his princeliness. So Alwinder is fine.
Okay, very good. Looking around the room, all of you can see, it's not hard to guess that probably the reason you're all there is the fact that you all discussed or had some connection to Rupert and the occult at one point or another. In his later years, any interactions with him that you had before he got sick, he started to talk about seeing things and hearing things in the middle of the night, and you just thought, there's this frail old man, maybe his mind is going, like, it's sad to see that happen, and you didn't really think much of it otherwise. So as you're all there and you're kind of, I like measuring everyone else up in the room, trying to figure out, like, what's going on here. You see Rupert look at his wife and his son and ask them to leave. And they do very cautiously. The son kind of gives you one of those, like, ugh looks. That boy has a stink face a mile long. And and they leave and the door is closed, so you're in this small space with an ill man, and he I'm glad you're all here. Give me a moment. And he pulls over a handkerchief and starts coughing, and when he pulls it away, there's blood. So it's either consumption or something is going on with him. That's going to be the cause of his demise. He says, you all got my letters, so I was hoping you would do an old man a favor before I die. Nothing. Okay.
Yes, go on.
No, it's good. It's good. It's good.
The father's just holding his hand, just listening intently.
Okay. At one point or another, I all discussed with you the odd and the strange in the world, the things beyond the veil. And
the pagan?
He just kind of is like, Father, there's more to this world than you could ever realize. Kelly. I did something in my youth. Something foolish, mistakes that you make when you're young and you think you're invincible. And I left it unsolved. And I fear with my death it'll be set upon our town. There's a house.
What?
And he motions to the side, and on one of those little tables, it just looks like a metal strongbox. It's unmarked. There's no lock. There's just one of those little flaps that you lift up. Take that and go through the journal entries. There's a key for a house there in a village nearby. That is where we did the ritual and loosed it upon the world.
What did you release?
Yeah, what ritual was
we released something. A friend of mine found these journal entries in the back of the university and went looking for relics. He was obsessed with the occult, and he brought out one of his treks. He brought out a piece of amber, and it just looked like there was something amorphous trapped inside of it. And we stupidly did a ritual, and it broke the amber and released this creature. And you watch his eyes go wide for a moment, and suddenly it's like he doesn't even see any of you. Like he's trapped in some kind of memory from that moment. And he goes, "The claws! Oh, poor Richard. It broke his neck, it ripped his head clean off!" And he starts this coughing fit. And pretty soon he's spitting up blood. I need all of you to make a sanity roll.
Okay.
Told you, right out of the gate, sanity rolls.
So it begins.
How? What? Okay, I don't have a.
Okay, wait. What do we test it again with?
All right, so with
Roll for this.
whatever works for you. So you need to roll below your sanity number.
Okay, gotcha.
So you can roll a d10 twice. You can roll a percentile die, but it's a 2-digit number. Remember, none of us have ever played this game, so we are fumbling in the dark.
I see.
What if we
Oops,
brought
sorry.
the exact number of our sanity?
That's a fail.
Shit.
I'm
Yes.
trying to
My
find my sanity.
My
I have-
sanity is 55, and I got 2. Extreme success. Super
I'm
save.
15.
I have
Kippy,
that sanity.
hold up, y'all.
One second.
It should be
No, I got luck.
towards the top of your sheet.
Sure thing. One second. I think what happened was stupid. I'm trying to use the character sheet from Doll's House, and I'm just like, what is this? Why is
No,
this
you're
not showing
good. This is
everything
why we're taking our time here. So
once?
you want to
Percentile
roll?
die is first, right?
Yeah, it's percentile. You can use percentile or d10s. It's the same thing. But you want to get a 2-digit number.
Okay, it's loading again. Sorry, it crashed on me, so
No, you're fine.
that's why.
You're fine.
49. I'm good.
Did
come
anyone
on.
fail that roll yet?
I rolled 68 out of 68 that I had to roll.
Ooh, okay.
There we go. Okay, there we go. Sanity.
Just for a reference,
Yes.
how do you roll it in roll 20?
Did you make your sheet in
click-
roll 20?
Yeah.
You should be able to do, at the top of your sheet, I'm looking at it now, you should be able to make a roll, like at the top you see roll options. This is just a regular check. There's no difficulty on this. You're just seeing a poor, sick old man.
Oh yeah, I had it on added mode.
Oh, okay. What did you get?
All right, so I'm
Katie?
just gonna. I'm gonna roll the D100. I'm just gonna show so that way people are not gonna be like, he's cheating. But D100, and then there's no bonus or penalty to add, right? I'm not sure if you see
No.
that. Okay, so just straight roll.
Yep.
I got an 86, and I'm trying to figure out this character sheet still. So I see the sanity like table, and then next to it, I think that's the sanity. Like I see a 50 and a 99.
So sanity is points. It's probably 50 if I had to guess.
Okay.
So you definitely rolled
Man.
above.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you failed your roll when you roll at or above your sanity, so Maximilian and Alvinder, you both are going to take 2 points off your sanity.
Already going crazy.
It's disturbing. It would be disturbing to anybody, but the rest, I mean, like Geraldine, like she's seen car crashes, she's seen all kinds of wild stuff. Father Shepelowski, like you've seen people die. This is not gonna rattle you. And David, yeah, it stinks that your friend is sick, but you're just like, hey, I do things where I pretend to cut people in half. Like, you're not. Hey, I'm trying to put rationale behind this, okay? Give it some credit. But Maximilian and Alvander, you look, just instinctually look to where he's kind of staring off into space from his hospital bed, and you swear for just a second you see something swirl at the foot of his bed, this like gray, almost inky black mist, and then it's gone.
Okay.
Spooky, ooky. All right.
I don't like that.
No.
Okay.
No, you shouldn't. None of this is good. And as
Fun
he
time.
is coughing up blood, you see the door slam open, and a nurse and a doctor in one of the white coats comes in and says, "Get out of the room! Get out of the room! We need to treat this man." And is pushing you all out of the room.
Can
Can I just make sure I grab the lockbox as we go?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, someone can
Yeah.
grab that. Yeah, this is very different than D&D. So you can, it's much more sandboxy, it's much more, yeah, unless I tell you otherwise, you can probably do it, so. No, make a contested roll between the father and the magician. No, I'm not gonna do that. So, you grab the box, and it's not very big. I mean, you're probably talking like, you know, what's the old thing? A bread box? That those things don't exist anymore. Showing my age. And, you know, it's not heavy, but you definitely hear something rattling inside. And as you all get shoved out of the room by the staff, you hear Rupert say, "Go to the house! Go to the house!" before he starts coughing up more blood again. And the door gets shut.
Right,
Just
so
go
does
to-
anybody else know where he lives? I mean, I don't want to go to his house. I don't know the way.
Just going to bless the door. Father, the house in heaven.
He pointed us to the house later, like, or not? Oh wait, no, that's a box. So we need to open the box. But let's open the box.
Can we like
Oh,
go
of course.
we can
Bloody
sit down
box.
and look at it instead of just like standing here in the hallway, like weird?
Maybe there's a waiting room to go to.
I mean, I'd be happy to go to a bar or something like that. Just nice, chill place. Just get a couple of drinks. Go through a dead man's
So-
belongings.
Can do.
The hospital is in the middle of a business district. The university is nearby, and where universities are, there are coffee shops and bars. Doesn't really matter the era you're in. I think that's a universal truth. So yeah, there's plenty of places that you could go. There is a bar that has a private room. There's a coffee shop that you could probably find something a little more secluded in the back.
I mean, I've performed at the bar a while back, so I could probably speak to the owner and get a private room for a while. That works for
Can
everybody
do.
else?
Works for me.
Sounds
bars.
lovely.
I'm from
That
New
sounds-
York. I drink.
Say no more.
Okay. So you're gonna head to the bar. It's called Lucky's Pub. Please don't make me come up with more creative names, because that's not gonna happen on the fly. Yeah, David, you've been here before, for sure.
Lucky pup.
Sure. We're going with
Let's hope
it.
we find some lucky charms.
Okay.
So-
Where are the leopard traps?
Oh my god. So you're gonna take the box and yourselves to the pub. You can definitely do that. I'm trying to change my sound up, and it's like, no, you're not allowed. I'm using Sirenscape, but it's being a butt.
Oh. I did hear it earlier. Like before the
You
stream
can still
started.
hear it? Okay, that's good.
No, I can't hear it. I can't hear it now. I said I was hearing it like before the stream started. I was able to hear it like when I first signed in, and then I don't hear it anymore.
Bummer.
As long as it wasn't before you signed in, because then you were already mad.
It's true. The back of the pub, yeah, they let you back there, except the bartender kind of looks at you, David, and is like, hey, last time we were here, you broke a chair.
Yes, it was one chair and I bought several drinks. I'll pay you back. And just kind of...
You go back there, you can't break any more chairs.
Fine, I won't break another chair. Okay?
Does he lose a sanity point for that?
I'm
Well, now we're gonna break chairs.
I'm gonna have you make a charm roll. Just because that's fun.
Yeah, failed. 61 for 55.
Okay. They go, alright, but not him. Someone's got to put a deposit down because that fucker will break everything. $2 and you can go back there.
Fine,
$2.
you want $2? I just lob to it him and... Actually,
Works.
I lob 4 and get a drink while I'm at it.
Big spender, yeah. He shoves it in his pants pocket, and you know those dollar bills are going to be, like, soggy. It's gross. I heard that story about have you heard about the soggy dollar bar? Used to be this place that you couldn't get to it any other way but boats. And so people would be, and you had to either swim or get in like a canoe or something, and people would get up to the bar and their pants would be wet from wading in, so, and the dollars they would throw down were soggy, so it got the name the soggy dollar. Anyways, it's the thing. This is my brain
That's
today.
a lot of effort for...
I know, right? And they let you go in the back, and you can close the door, and then you have the privacy that you need to inspect this box.
So, I slam the box onto the middle of the table. It rattles ominously. Just... Shall we?
Let's do
After
it.
you.
This entire time, like, Prince Alwindar has just been like, just considering what the hell am I doing with all these weird people, and just like barely following along. Mostly because he's still really curious what the heck is going on and kind of scared to be alone after seeing what he saw earlier. So he's just like shuffling up behind them.
Okay.
So many jokes.
Okay. You can very easily open the box. There's a handful of things in here. There's a envelope that's clearly been opened a lot. It's got that appearance to it. The edges are worn and kind of brown from just handling. It's not sealed. Attached to that with a ribbon is a heavy metal, what looks like a house key. There is a leather-bound journal. Not very big. Someone would have had to write in that, pretty cramped. And then there is a kind of an ambery golden colored stone box that's shaped like a sarcophagus that has multiple carvings on it in a language none of you know off the top of your head.
So fun stuff.
Interesting. Owner kind of walks over and says, "Can I look at that script? Just really curious."
Sure, why not? I just grab it and toss it.
He's not even trying to like decipher it or anything. He's just looking at it because he's just so fascinated by it.
Can I pick up one of the diaries? Is it in... Is it readable?
Yes, it is written in English. You recognize the hand. This is Rupert's handwriting. So this is something he kept, and it's full. Like, it's a full journal. He used this a lot. So you're looking at but Alvinder, you're not trying to decipher it, the box.
I mean, if he can, I'm not, like he said, he's not, it's not something we know. He's just definitely like fascinated because it's something that he's always been interested in. That's why he, in his academics, he's trying to do and learn. So if he can try and decipher it, he'd probably love to, but it's just more of just a fascination and just excitement at seeing something like this.
Okay. You could make an occult roll.
Okay. Yeah, actually, then I would like to do that then.
Go for
Let me
it.
go back to my character sheet. Occult. Where is your... Do I have occult? Much. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, there we go. All right. So I have to get under my... So it's at 60.
Okay. So you'd have to roll under.
Ooh.
Okay, so let's roll...
Is it weird that
49.
mine's higher?
49. All right. Yeah, you're thinking back on the conversations that you had with Rupert and your studies and all those late nights going over books that you probably technically weren't allowed to look at in the university library, but Rupert kind of snuck you on the side, and it's not complete. Like, the carvings aren't a sentence, they're not a phrase, it's more like half of one thing, a dash of another thing. But you do recognize it as symbols that were used and by inhabitants of this lost continent. And it was this lost continent in the Pacific Ocean that, like Atlantis, just is now myth. But it was called Mu. And MU. And it was rumored that they would find... the inhabitants of this island would find odd and lost treasures, that at one point they found strange bones that didn't look like any creature that had ever been studied before. So your spidey sense is tingling.
Interesting. He's just gonna, Alwinder is just gonna go find like a bench or a seat somewhere and just gonna like put it down, just like stare at it and kind of just try, and you see his hands going across the script and just fascinated, completely fascinated. Like he's in his own little world right now.
Okay. There is a lid to this thing, so it is split in half.
Okay.
So you could open it if you so choose.
So
Might not be the best idea.
oh no, he's definitely very much interested. He's like he said, he's completely in his own little world, and he's gonna try and opening it.
Okay. Yeah, there's no resistance. It just comes, the lid just comes right off. There is nothing inside other than a bed of dark green velvet and an indent where something once sat.
Now what was in here? This is fascinating. He's gonna finally look up and he goes, anybody know what this might be? Do you guys see anything there that might match this indentation? Something that needs to be in here?
I mean, it looks like it held a mummy at some point, mate, honestly. I just takes a swig of my drink.
I would guess, if I could take a guess, I would guess it would be the amber that he found, where the creature got released.
Well, don't know much about a creature, but that's a possibility.
I mean, he
Question
said
is-
claws. Claws are animal stuff. So I think it's a creature. And then we still got the key, and I will grab the key and just see if I can... Like, is there any writings on the key, or is it just a rusty old bland key
It's
that
a
they have?
rusty old key. It's attached to that envelope with a ribbon.
I'm gonna open up the envelope and see if there's anything I can read off of it.
There are two pieces of paper in here.
Okay.
One is smaller than the other, and the smaller piece of paper is a house deed. So this is a property, a farm, on Boone Road near Ross's Corners. And Ross's Corners is a village that you all know of. It's a village west of the city, about 2 hours outside. So you have a house deed and a key that seem to go together. And then the other piece of paper, I have a handout for you. Excitement.
Oh.
Oh, the things. Hold on. And it's in your journal. Hold on. I don't trust that it's actually going to do what I want it to do, so we're just gonna do this. It's a letter.
Oh. Edge 1.
Yeah. It's a letter from Rupert to all of you. And it's on the screen. You can read it, but I'll paraphrase for you. And essentially, it outlines a little bit of what something that happened. And it seems to be the same something that he was talking about in the hospital. And that he never actually went back to the farmhouse after that night when something horrible happened. And he loosed something upon the countryside, but he fears that with his death, whatever is keeping the creature leashed will be that bond will be broken. And he also mentions very specifically that the way to get rid of this creature, all of the materials are still in the house.
Oh. Quick question. It's a quick issue. I'll be back in 2 minutes. I need to go grab something for something.
Oh, yeah, you're fine.
Sorry about that. I just need to step away for a quick
happens.
second.
Go for it.
Thank you.
Sure. It's a dire letter. Like it's very much like these are my final words type of thing. And even the last line says, "I do not expect your forgiveness for what I ask of you." That's not creepy at all. So you have this letter. It's clearly from Rupert. And then, Father, you were looking at the journal.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So the entries, just flipping through, the entries in here date from June 1876 to May 1881. And it's also got newspaper clippings attached to different pages. Like, this is a documentation of several years that Rupert was keeping. And to completely paraphrase, because there's a lot of handouts, basically what you get out of parsing through this is that these students, Rupert was one of them, so this would have been many years ago when he was young, a group of students at the university, and they called themselves, it was a joke, but they called themselves the Dark Brotherhood. And they were fascinated by the occult. And so they thought, we're going to study a bunch of stuff, we're going to find a bunch of secrets and, like, learn the mysteries of the world. And they held their first meeting in the spring of 1876, and Rupert was the one who kept record of what they did. Now, as you kind of read along, the story starts out fine. It's like a bunch of curious university kids doing their thing, you know, that kind of stuff. Like, they're being kids. Like, I'm invincible. The entries get more serious up until a point where something very bad happened. And because of whatever they did on... What was the date? I had the wrong date. Hold on. On March 19th, 1877, they did a ritual. It involved a salt circle and a fire in the fireplace and lighting candles. Like, this is some Ouija ookie spooky shit, right? Like, this is some, like, just for our modern paraphrasing, this is some crap. A bunch of people sit in a circle. Rupert was named the Watcher to keep an eye on the doors and windows to make sure nothing snuck up on them. And very slowly, over the course of 2 hours of chanting, they summoned something from this piece of amber, and it somehow hypnotized one of the members, and you read a very graphic description of this thing, which was basically invisible, grabbed this guy because he broke the salt circle and twisted his head clean off. And when this happened, the guy standing right next to him who got hit by the blood splatter and watched his friend be decapitated went insane and ran out the front door. And they didn't find him for several miles, and he was dead in the ditch, frozen in terror.
Ah, Rupert, what have you done?
Father, I'm gonna need you to
Are we
make...
all aware of this?
I don't know, but I need Father to make a sanity roll.
I'm okay.
Because it's bad.
I'm okay.
It's okay.
Oh, it's okay.
What'd you get? Success. Okay.
Success.
So you don't lose any sanity points on this. But you now have a very clear description of what happened that night. And the subsequent journal entries detail what they did afterwards. So the next day, while they all went through the motions of shock and trying to, like, they had to call the sheriff and then try to come up with an excuse as to what happened, they blamed it on a bear. And either bribed the sheriff or was able to convince him enough that that's what happened. And then over the course of several years, the rest of the group perishes in gruesome, awful accidents. The leader of the group, a man named Marion Allen, actually was murdered in New Orleans. And there's a newspaper clipping on that journal entry where Rupert talks about marrying. He finds out that Marion's been killed. And it says, brutal murder at the docks. The body of Mr. Marion Allen, late of Arkham, Massachusetts, was discovered early this morning near Gulf and Panama docks. A victim of foul play, the man was identified by local witnesses who had said that Mr. Allen had been seen in the locale the evening before. Although robbery was the apparent motive, police report that the victim had gruesome marks carved into his forehead and his tongue had been cut out. And Mr. Allen had reportedly gone to the police earlier this week, claiming that he was being followed and he feared for his life. He said his shadowy pursuers were after an Egyptian artifact, which he no longer possessed.
Wow. Sorry. Yes, that's horrible.
So,
Arwen
You've
is
been recounting
visibly
this to us
shaken.
as you read, Father, I'm assuming.
I'm just clutching my crucifix at this point. I'm just going to. We might be dealing with a demon.
Dun, dun, dun.
That shit's fucked up. I mean, but that Marion that got murdered, they said that he translated some of that book. We're gonna need to banish this mysterious beast they decided to summon from the sarcophagus, apparently. And I mean, Egyptian artifact. Sarcophagus, Egyptian artifact, maybe that's what... Oh, God, are we going to get killed by shadowy cultists? I mean, come on, for pity's sake, we've got the artifact they were after. They carved some weird shit in his head. Look at this face. This face is not going to be carved on.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Arwen at this point... Sorry, go ahead.
If it's a mummy, I think we can just all grab cats. They scare mummies.
Great. Cat, that works.
Love cats.
Alwinder is like visibly shaken at this point with hearing that. He's like, I mean, books are one thing. I didn't. Books and maybe looking at artifacts and digging through tombs. That's what I was signing up for. Not dealing with crazy occultists and shadowy beings. This is insane. Are you guys seriously considering?
This is a test.
I want to
We just
find it.
need to
Yes.
have faith.
We need to find it. We need to see if we can save a lot of people's lives.
Just going to put a hand on Maximilian's shoulder. That's right.
Thank you, Father.
Just proud mama.
I mean, I don't know about saving lives in particular, but this could net me a lot of money. I can deal with that. I mean, imagine a stage show with a live demon, a live beast from the underworld. I can deal with that. Let's go.
We're going to exorcise that demon.
Yeah,
Send it
yeah,
back to
we'll
the
go.
bowels of hell.
Yeah, we'll go trap it in a box, do whatever the book says, and then I've got the box and I can put it on display. My name in lights at last. The amazing Kragan and his beast in a box.
I'm just gonna roll my eyes. Some people on it can't be saved.
We got an address. Let's follow it and see if we can find something.
Boom.
I would
good.
be up for it. I have the key right here, so We should
Good
move
road.
on.
Does anybody have a car?
That's a good question.
I
It is
can-
the 1920s.
Guess we're gonna walk.
Oh, Alwinder has he has a driver, considering he is technically. I mean, is that all right? Considering I figured
Oh,
that
yeah.
since he's like technically royalty, he would have like a driver. He's like, I can perhaps take a couple of you, 3. I mean, actually, I think all of us would fit, right? We're just 4 people, so that should work.
We can try that.
Do we have an idea where we want to go?
We got an address from the letter that I read.
Boone Road.
Exactly.
All right. Turns around,
Got this highness. Let's go.
walks out, goes, Dilbesh, get the car.
I would actually like to just pick up the Bible and start reading about invisible demons. Do you guys see anything?
Just flip to that section.
And yeah, I'm just going to check Book of Genesis right now.
Has like sticky notes sticking out.
Okay.
Invisible demon.
Yeah, there's a few. I will say, too, Father, that as you were going through it, something that it kind of caught your attention to begin with, and then the more you're thinking about this, you're like, we should probably watch for this. Rupert does detail the ritual and exactly what they did, but he also makes note that there are actual ritual notes in the house somewhere that you could probably look for and find. But you're also wondering, wait, that was the ritual to call the demon into existence, so does it work in reverse?
On that note, I think that in my faith, that salt is considered pure and against demons.
Hmm?
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask the group if they don't mind if I go to the store.
Yeah, no problem.
Go ahead.
Let's
Yeah.
go buy
Sure.
some.
And then,
Now would be the
And then-
time, if you have funds in your character sheet, that if you wanted to buy supplies, because right now your kits are pretty bare bones. All of you have a weapon of some kind, but if you want lanterns or flashlights or rope or anything you can think of, you're gonna want to stop and get that.
I was thinking about getting a flashlight at least.
I
You can do
got
that.
$10.
Yeah, I kind of bang on the bar and demand my deposit back because no chairs are fucking broken, are they? And then, yeah, I'll go get some form of lighting equipment as well.
Okay, sure.
I'm going to get salt and a lantern and the hell is it called? That incense think.
Yep, incense thing works. We know what you're
Yeah.
thinking.
Yes, exactly.
You get a whole sensor. Yeah.
I am picking something up.
Alwinder's gonna do the same. Definitely a torchlight or like flashlight. Flashlights are a thing at this point, right? Yeah.
Big,
yeah,
heavy,
so,
battery-operated looking mag
Yeah,
light
like-
things. Yeah.
Yeah, those big ones.
Yep.
Oh, my grandfather had one of those. Like it was like a steel, almost like a steel metallic one. And I'm like, you could probably beat someone up with this thing and really do some damage with this. But oh my god, yeah, I love those things. So yes, I will have one of those.
Okay.
I will also. Ooh, what else would I wouldn't. I would just maybe some rations, like some supplies, food wise. So we had something on our hand. He's just a young kid, so he really doesn't know what is needed for an expedition like this. So he's just gonna like copy everybody else.
Beer. We need more beer. So
Just gonna buy
food
lots
and
of
supplies are a
Don't
good point. So
corrupt the children, please.
can I spend like $5 just to get a bit of food, some booze, just some really
much-
cheap wine or vodka or some form of spirit?
How much salt can I buy for $3 in there?
Yeah, I spent all
That's
the
a
salt.
shit ton. That's like $3 in the 1920s was a lot of money.
How much for
Salt mine.
fuck?
I mean, yeah, you
One
could
guy.
actually, you could get just a standard box of salt,
Oh.
easy enough.
Box of salt.
Yeah.
And I'm taking an oil lantern, if that's available.
Yep. Yeah, anything within reason that you want to add to your inventory, you could definitely do that. So, you all
I'll take some
have
matches as well,
weapons
but-
of some kind, but you could, the flashlights definitely serve as a blunt weapon that would deal a d6 of damage, because that would hurt. If you, want to buy a knife or something like that, you could, procure that.
Yeah, Alwinder is definitely very much a scholarly type, so he doesn't really have any weapons or know how to use anything like that. But he does have like most princes at the time, they have like a ceremonial dagger that is basically given to them when they come of age. It's not sharp, but that's pretty much all he carries. It's like very much something he's neglected, so it's pretty much a dull little butter knife kind of a thing at this point. But it's there.
Okay.
So
And when you get to the house, I mean, you can always do a spot hidden check. All of you can to dig through and see what's, because this is an old abandoned house that you're expecting that you're going to be arriving at, so it's not going to be in the best shape. Okay.
On that note, I'm
Yes.
going to take a rope as well.
Okay, we can do that. I'm just checking my notes. Sorry, I've not read. I've read this like 6 times, but I want to make sure I'm not missing anything that I need to be telling you. And if you want, it's up to you. But if you want to share the journal with everyone else, you all can look at the different newspaper clippings and different things. The clippings are basically talking about the deaths of the other people. So Robert and Harold were the 2 who died at the house that night. Marion died a few months later. He was the one who was killed in New Orleans. Crawford died in 1910 through a carriage accident that somehow ripped off both his legs. And then, great, right? And then Cecil died in 1919, which was 10 years ago because it's 1929, and was written off as a heart attack. Hard to have a heart attack when your heart is missing.
I mean,
What
if
the-
you take the heart
doctor
out,
on this.
it's an attack involving the heart.
I love this shit!
We're just like
Just
that
imagine
dog in them with a fire, and we're like, this is fun.
It's fine.
The father is probably not sharing the diary. He's probably just preaching the devil at this point.
They walk into a guy missing its whole heart. Yeah, that's a heart attack right there.
Yep.
Well, technically, a heart
I mean,
attack.
technically, yeah.
Oh my god!
It's an attack that removed the heart. A heart attack.
I hate
I would
you
call
all.
that a ripoff if I were you. Because you know it was ripped off. Okay. Oh jeez.
There is a somehow Rupert got a hold of the medical examiner's report on Marion Allen, the guy who had his forehead carved into. He was killed by a single powerful blade thrust to the bottom of the rib cage, and then it cut upward to separate the ribs, and then hands were used to pry the rib cage apart. The tongue was cut out, likely while the victim was dying. And then the cuts were deep enough in the skull, or in the forehead, that it carved into the skull. Like, that is a ton of force. And the victim's liver and heart were both missing.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Just organs, just gone.
It's the mummy.
It is the mummy.
Yeah, a little bit, you're right.
We need those cats around.
That's the point. Is there a pet store that's open at this hour so we can go get a cat?
The poor cat.
You just walk around with the cat and see if it starts meowing, and then when it does, you're like, okay, we go there, and then you just let the cat go.
Oh my god.
It works.
So you're gonna head to Ross's Corners. You all have passed through there. I mean, it's a nothing village. There might be 2 buildings, a church, couple houses, and it's mostly farmland. So there's not much there. And the one building is essentially a combo general store, post office, and gas station. And then there's a milk depot on the back of it. I love that so much. I was like,
Very
wow.
rustic.
Yeah, very rustic. In the middle of nowhere, Massachusetts. So you're going to head out there, and Alvinder, they're going to take your car.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, do you want to just go straight through the village to the house, or do you need to stop, or what are you thinking there?
I'll leave it up to the rest.
Okay.
I've got nowhere I need to be.
Might want to talk to the preacher.
You could do that.
I suggest we just go there. But it's up to you.
I'm fine either ways.
Okay.
To the house.
To the house. All right. I was like, someone make a decision. Okay. To the house, then. Yep. So, I can actually show you that. Oh. Here we go. So this is the farmhouse area. This is Boone Road, off to the road that runs north-south. There's a massive dead tree where the road turns into kind of the gravel and dirt, almost mud driveway to the farmhouse. And you can tell, like, there's no check required. This was hit by lightning. And it's split down the middle and has that charred, ashy look to it right where that powerful strike hit. And there's a crater around the tree where it just exploded the dirt.
Fun times.
Yeah. So this is an old 18th century farmhouse. So it's one of those salt box houses. The roof looks like the saddest thing you've ever seen. It's like slate tiles that are just sliding off. Even as you drive up, just the vibrations from the car onto the ground send some of the tiles kind of crashing to the ground. The front door is shut, but you don't see any kind of, like, there's no barricade or anything. The front porch is sagging. There's an old, like, porch swing that's long been rotted, and it's almost, like, molded into the porch, and there's weeds and all kinds of those, like, nettles and everything growing up through it. The shutters are hanging off their hinges. The windows in the front are completely broken. You just see the crosshatch of the window frame for the glass panes. And everything here is overgrown to the point of, dear God, it would take us forever to even try to, get this back to any kind of standard of living. It looks completely abandoned. There is an outhouse that has been kind of overtaken by this tree that's grown, like, into it. And then there's a big old barn in the back.
Father's going to stop by blessing everything
Well, this is a shithole.
with his New York accent.
So, what do we check first? That's the good question now.
The outhouse.
The outhouse? There's a tree inside of it.
Might be carvings in the tree.
We can always go check if you want to.
Oh, is
can
it not
check the
showing up?
outhouse.
Hold on, let me see if it's
Yeah,
gonna...
I can see it on the last screen.
Ah!
I even tried to like reconnect.
No, it's, it might be the way that this is layered. I thought it was gonna show, but... I know the stream can see it. Yeah, sorry about that. Hold on, let me see if I can fix it. Layer... Okay. Better? Did it show
Still
up?
nothing.
I
What?
still got screen.
Well, that's complete, utter bullcrap.
Right.
Just pretend we
Reload.
can see it. Do you want us to try and like reconnect? See if that helps?
No, I don't think that's it. Let me take a screenshot of that and send it to
Just
you.
looking at the stream, I think that.
Yeah, you could do that too.
Works.
You could look at the stream.
That sounds like a lot of work.
I'm sorry.
Sounds like I might drain my internet, let's say.
I don't know why it did that. It's being such a butthead right now.
It hates us.
I know. I'm annoyed because it shouldn't be doing that.
Ah, well, it's
There we
fine.
go. All right. I've also never used a module in Roll20, so that could be my stupid understanding. But I thought I set it to map layer. I've done it twice now, and it's still not. But anyways, it's in Discord, so that's what the property looks like. It really is just completely abandoned. So you pull up. Your driver kind of is like, I'm not gonna leave the car here. I'll pull it off to the side where it's not completely muddy, and because he's afraid of getting the car stuck, and lets you all out in front of this house.
To the house.
This is not the most luxurious looking place.
To say the least.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, by my astute observation, I would say so.
Yeah, very good eyes, I can tell.
Why is there a dead body marked on the map?
What?
There isn't.
I
Oh,
don't see.
I definitely see one.
oh, that's okay.
Yeah, I'm ignoring that mark for now.
Yeah, it happens. It's okay. I'm not worried about it.
Should we go check the water well first to see if there's anyone down there or anything down there?
Is this the ring? Like, I'm just like, oh, someone's in the
Yeah,
well.
there you go.
Can we check that tree for any markings?
The big lightning struck one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could definitely do that. That's a spot hidden roll.
Alright. Need 8, guys.
Got this.
I believe.
Ooh, failure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't see very well.
This tree has been like this for some time. This definitely didn't happen anytime soon. And or anytime recently. It looks like a massive oak tree that got struck by lightning.
Just dead trees, you guys.
Good to know. Thanks, Father.
Good job.
Can I please walk to the water well and check inside of it if there's anything in there?
Yeah, you could do that. No
Shine my
roll.
flashlight in there.
Yep, you could do that. No roll required. There's a little bit of like tree detritus, just leaves and a few little twigs floating on the top, but the water looks pretty clear. And when you shine your flashlight down there, you can see down to the bottom of the well, and it's nothing there but a little bit of silt. No
The one is
body,
clear.
no bones, no coins.
Okay.
So far, we found a dead tree and water. We're doing really good.
And I also noticed you all are avoiding the house like the plague.
Yeah.
That's what my character would do.
The father's gonna step onto the porch
Okay.
and look into the window.
The cracked, totally gone one. Yep. So this house is just trashed. It's a very small farmhouse. It's one of those, like, it's basically one room. You do see a set of stairs go down, probably into the cellar. There's a small back room where the door is kind of ajar, so you can't see that far. It's like a mud room type of thing, where you'd keep tools and gear, that kind of stuff. There's an old, disgusting, moldy couch. There's a table with 2 legs that's just leaning at a 45-degree angle into the sagging floorboards. There's a big stone fireplace that looks like it'd probably still be usable. And then there is an iron stove in the back for cooking. Other than that, the furniture is largely broken or of no use. And actually, make a spot hidden roll for me, Father.
Too good at those.
Creepy laugh is creepy.
These are gross rolls.
Real well there.
I forgot my glasses.
Yeah, you're kind of trying to, but you do see a lot of dust swirling around just as from you all moving past the open, busted out windows. There's dirt. The one thing that you do notice, because you're close enough to the front door frame itself has been carved into. And there are symbols all along every inch of this thing that probably took a long time to carve.
I'm going to call out to Alwender. Just, do you recognize any of these symbols?
I mean, some of them do seem familiar. Give me a moment. And I will like to investigate, please.
Yes, make an occult roll for me.
Occult roll indeed. All right, so I think I
Got this.
have
You got this.
52. What was it? My score. There's my score. Sorry, I'm looking through my character sheet. There's so many things to look at.
I know. I think
Where
your
is
occult
the-
was 60.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, 60. All right,
So
so
you
I
rolled
got
under.
52.
Very good. All right, so you got a
Yay.
regular success. Yes. In combo with what you know from your studies and from talking to Rupert, these are warding symbols. Ward against evil. Ward against negative energy. And the very last one, because the words make up a chain of symbols, the one going down is a ward of protection.
These are protective symbols, all of them. Trying to keep away something, trying to protect whoever. I'm not sure which direction this points to, but one side is to protect and the other side is to keep out. So these are good things.
The words keep out, I kind of just barge past them and shoulder my way into the door. Don't seem to be working there, Your Highness.
Oh my god.
Arwinder just like stares at him, it just is like plebeians.
Maximilian would just take pictures of the house and stuff just because he's intrigued by it. And the
That's
symbols,
right.
if he
You
if
have
he
a
spots them.
camera.
I have a camera and film. I take a picture of everything
Uh-huh.
I can find.
Man after my
I
own
don't
heart.
like that face. I don't like that face on Halli.
No, I forgot about this. No, you shouldn't like that face, James. You've been in enough games with me.
Yeah, no.
I also have no poker face.
I know that face.
Maximilian, will you make an occult roll for me?
Okay. God damn it! I rolled a 70. My thing is 65. I rolled just barely over it.
Oh, okay.
no.
They're fascinating. They were clearly made by a blade, so someone probably used a knife to do this, but without any real occult knowledge of this specifically, you're trusting Alwinder's word here on what they mean.
Can I also test the key on the door if it's still there, the
Yep.
front door, to see if
Front
it
door
opens
is
up?
there. It does open up.
Oh, I just swing it open and look at everyone else. Should we head inside or should we like explore the rest?
I mean, I just shoulder barged. I think we're in. We're okay.
That's fine then.
I was trying to take a screenshot, but if you look at the stream, you'll be able to. It's gonna cheat and show things, but it's fine. I'm beyond like trying to figure out why this won't do what I want it to do.
I'm just going to take out my ball pen and do a cross over the doorway.
Did that
Maybe
work
this
at
will help
all?
more.
Can you see the farmhouse floor?
No.
I see it in the stream. I'm just using
That's
the
annoying.
interesting right now.
All right. Well, I don't know what I did, but I'm learning.
You're doing fine.
It just hates us.
It just hates us. I know. So you all are headed inside then?
Mhm.
Sure.
Okay.
That's fun.
Clutching my crucifix.
So excited.
As you all walk in, I need everyone to make a listen roll.
Oh.
We've not done one of these yet.
I don't have very good. Let's see
Oh,
how this
no.
goes. Oh, that's a fail.
Fail? Okay.
My listen's 20, and I got a 52, so that is nowhere near.
Okay, yeah.
Fail.
James, that's one hell of a roll.
As well.
And then David succeeded, and then Father, did you fail, or I'm sorry?
I rolled a 11.
Oh, okay. Hard
Father
success.
got a hard success.
Hard
Nice.
success. All right.
Listening hard.
Okay. So, David, as you're just kind of looking around this trashed house, you hear something below, almost directly underneath your foot. This thump. Sounds like, I can't tell, something falling, maybe? And then you're kind of, you know, doing that, like, head cock, trying to listen better thing that never really works, but we do it anyways. And you're just kind of like, you don't hear anything else. It's just one thump. Father, you heard that too. But you also heard something above. In the attic. And you all are looking around, and you the rest of you see David and the father kind of freeze for a second, just as this thunderclap strikes outside and kind of jostles you all a little bit. You can feel the whole house. It's one of those close ones where the whole house vibrates.
Fun times.
I'm going to say a Hail Mary.
Okay. Probably a good idea.
Well, that's new.
And I'm going to say a prayer for David, because he's a filthy peasant.
I'm just already taking out my Bible, my screwdriver. Like, okay, we are not alone here. I'm getting a little scared.
Don't worry, Max.
As the father
For
saying
he
a prayer to me, I
protects us.
pretend to burn.
Oh my god.
Should not take this lightly, magician.
Much.
Lightly is the only way to take it at this point. Either we find something or we don't.
What are the rest of you all doing?
Going to light my oil lantern.
I'm gonna start looking around the house to see if I can find anything that they told us about, like any clues or any markings, anything else that we could indicate as to who was in here.
Anyone that wants to look around can make a spot hidden roll.
I'm great this
Sweet.
Kitty!
Hi, yeah. So we're safe now.
There you go.
It's okay.
Yeah. I
This
think
is-
Alwinder is going to try as well.
Sure.
It's a success for
I
me.
failed to spot anything. Ooh.
Definitely failed.
Okay.
I succeeded.
Okay.
Fairly successful.
Oh, 4 for that, so.
Ooh, extreme
Ooh.
success. Okay. Very good.
I would like to focus my search in the fireplace.
In the fireplace, Jerry, where did you want to look?
Just all around the house.
It's
just
all around
in
the house.
room we're
Okay, I know what I'll do with you. And then,
in. No, just the room, like,
and then Maximilian, where did you want to focus?
Either the table or the couch or any place where people would spend a lot of time in.
Okay. We'll start with you, actually. So, Maximilian, you are looking around. It's mostly just dust and dirt. I mean, the windows have been broken for God knows how long. And who knows what's blown in here. So there's leaves and just forest litter. But you do see one single, dried out, muddy boot print.
Okay. Does it lead anywhere, or is it just one single?
It's pointed
Print.
toward the stairs.
Point towards the stairs at the rest of the people. Someone went up there.
The ones that go
Be
down.
careful.
These go down.
Oh,
to the
okay.
I
stairs.
have-
So, downstairs.
I've already told them about the sound I heard from the attic, right?
I don't know. That's
I'm
up to
going
you,
to
man.
All right, I would have relayed that information.
Okay. So yeah, you've definitely
Downstairs.
heard this, and you're all kind of trying to listen again to see if you hear anything, and It's gone eerily quiet.
Joy.
Yeah, great. Father, you in the fireplace, yeah, weirdly enough, there's an empty can in here that still has, like, the residue of, like, canned beans. You find a tin fork and what looks like some recent fireplace, like, ash from burning logs.
Somebody might still be in here.
I think so as well. We found a muddy footprint. We found some food. Someone has to be here somewhere.
And then, Jerry, you're kind of poking around the back a little bit. And you stick your head in that lean-to that's attached to the back of the house, because the door was ajar. And you see more evidence that someone has been here. There's an unrolled sleeping bag. It's not in great shape. It's definitely been used. What looks like the remains of a tent that maybe was broken apart, or somehow something befell this poor tent because it's like kind of broken apart. And then there are 2 shirts, like flannel work shirts, hanging up like they were hung up to dry.
Okay. I'm gonna go and tell everyone, like, what I...
Okay.
So we definitely heard noises from the attic and down in the basement. So what do you guys want to do?
Basements are where bad things happen. The attic.
Okay.
Nothing good ever happens in basements. Nothing.
Your attics.
Are we sure we don't want to just call the cops on trespassers?
We should just leave.
Good.
Just
No, we're on a mission from God at this point.
Oh god.
which one?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Alwinder's like,
We're a bunch of
which?
heathens.
Whichever you believe in, my friend.
And you just see Arwinder finally just start chanting a little bit under his breath.
Pagan.
Will we head downstairs then, or?
I mean, the Broad's got a point. Downstairs is probably deaf. We can head up first, make our way down later.
Yes.
We can die at a later time. It's fine.
On this we can agree.
I'll just stay down here in case someone comes up the stairs.
That's a bad choice.
Don't split up, that's how you die.
You sure?
Stick together with friends.
Okay, I'm coming with you then.
Yay!
If you stand behind, I'll stay with you, man.
But then 2 people... No, we all go together upstairs now.
So,
Right, we'll all head upstairs then.
upstairs, okay. The, sorry, I'm just flipping through my notes. The upstairs is one of those, hatches that you have to pull down, that then the ladder kind of slides out. It's way up there, so either someone needs to, like, jump and grab it, or, someone needs to give someone else a boost. It's not easy to get to.
Is anyone good at jumping?
Or if someone's just tall, you could probably, like,
Yeah.
reach up and pull it down.
I don't think I'm that
Yeah.
tall now.
I can.
Yeah.
Yes,
So I'm not
I can
tall.
just give somebody a lift up.
A lift up. Okay, that's easy enough to do. So you boost somebody up, and they grab the that cord, you know, and the stairs. It's a combination of, like, rotting wood and rusty hinges as they kind of, like, squeak down, which echoes all around you in this big, empty, rundown house. But yeah, there's stairs that go up, and there's this musty, dusty, almost foul smell that comes out of the attic.
I'll go first. With my oil lantern
With your oil lantern.
in the front.
I fall straight behind.
I'll go behind then with a flashlight.
Okay. It's single file, because
I'm just really
of...
ready with my soldier. Ready to make that circle.
And I think right there, as you all head up into the attic, we'll take a quick break. So
Alright,
let's
great.
take a break, get everyone a chance to get up and stretch and get some drinks and all that fun stuff. We'll run our midstream video reel. If you haven't checked out Monster Care Squad from Sandy Pug Games, I would have played that so bad because it's so cute and the art is
Same.
amazing.
So good.
And that their advert is in here along with Ancestry Press's advert for their Ancestry and Culture guides, which we are going to be using for our Dark Matter game that starts in December. So pretty cool. And we'll see you all back here in about 10 minutes or so. All right, we are back as the party heads up into the attic of the abandoned farmhouse. So who was going up first? Was it the father?
Twas.
Okay,
Father's
father,
is
and
up.
then who was next? Maximilian, or
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah,
You
Maximilian, then me, and I can't remember behind me.
And then Alwinder, I think, is probably just trying to be like the last one,
okay?
or
That's fair.
wherever he thinks is the safest.
First and last always get picked off. Just saying.
Oh,
She's not wrong.
So, father, you have a lantern because it is very dark up here. Okay. I mean, it's an attic. The ceiling is really low, so you're not having to stoop completely, but you don't have a lot of clearance between your head and the top of the roof here in this room. The air up here is just stagnant. It smells like mothballs and mold and dust. And there's one of those little round windows up in the attic, and you can see rain just slashing around outside. And there's this roll of thunder that you can hear, another one that vibrates the whole house. And as you move your lantern around, there's this swirl of... You're not sure what it is. It just looks like dust kind of floating in the air, but it starts to wrap into this shape, and something claws at you. I need you to make a dodge roll.
We made a bad choice.
we chose poorly.
You made a bad choice.
I did it.
Oh gosh, okay.
Woohoo!
You move back and you actually bump into everyone behind you, so everyone's gonna go tumbling down the stairs like a row of dominoes. You're not gonna take any damage, but you're all gonna land in a heap down the stairs. And you just, for a brief second, something told you that something was coming right for your throat, and you can feel the tips of something insanely sharp just catch the front of your throat. Not enough to draw blood, but you can feel the welts being raised. And it slashes again at you. I need you to make another dodge roll.
Oh, joy.
Oh! Okay. Oh, no! Alright, so
How'd
success
that
on
look you?
one. Failure on the second. Ouch. Yeah, you're gonna take some damage.
Yeah.
Because this thing is trying to take your head off. How many hit points do you have?
14.
Okay. You're lucky I rolled like crap. You're gonna take 5 points of damage. And you can feel blood. Thankfully, it's not over the major vein, but you can feel it like on the side of your neck. And you kind of do this instinctually and fall backwards down the stairs. And you just hear this as the entire ladder and the hatch gets pulled up and slammed shut.
I'm just going to scream, holy shit!
And that's the cue for Alwinder to start leaving. He's like, nope, nope.
I do need everyone to make a sanity roll.
Oh.
No, the question is, if we lost sanity, is it the max sanity or the one that we have right now that we need to check?
You have to go off of your current score.
The current score. Okay, got it.
'Cause
So later
as
on
you
will be
lose
more
sanity
difficult.
points.
Oh shit!
Extreme success, I'm
Hold on.
still sane.
I failed mine.
Okay.
Was a 93. God damn.
Ooh.
Hold up, I need to start this stupid
I
app.
rolled
You're fine,
real high
you're
on that
fine.
one.
We are learning as we go. And I need
There
to
it is.
check.
That is a 92, and I have a sanity of 50. So yeah,
Ooh, okay.
definitely a fail.
So 2 fails. Jerry? Oh, I think you're muted.
Yeah, okay. I got a 47 on my sanity 65.
Okay, success.
Very sane.
Yeah,
Nice.
very good. And then father?
50 out of 70.
Okay, so we had 2 failures and an extreme success. All right. Let me see what you lose here. This is this is nasty. Like, this is the first injury, and you're now recalling that colleague of Rupert's who lost his head when they first did this ritual. Not a hard thing to kind of try to figure out that this was probably the same creature. I have to roll D10 for this because... okay. Alvinder and who else failed?
Maximilian.
You're both going to lose 9 sanity points.
Ouch. Ouch. Ouch.
Because you've lost 5 or more, you're going to suffer a major trauma.
Okay.
So for that, to determine what happens, I need you both to make intelligence rolls.
No.
Wait, I was still... Okay.
Yep, you want to roll at or below your intelligence score.
At least I have a high intelligence.
I have
Good
higher
thing.
intelligence as well.
Okay.
Nice. All right.
Oh, smart.
Oh God, come on.
Come on.
I rolled way under it. Like, I rolled a 30-something and minus 80. Or 75.
So you have a hard success.
Shitting me.
Oh no!
My intelligence is an 80, and I got an 80.
Well, you rolled at. You're okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at is okay. At is okay. In combat, ties are a little bit different.
Okay.
You're okay.
I
You're
was
sweating
about
yet?
to go so mad.
Okay, so because you both succeeded on that, you fully understand and you comprehend and you're making that connection to the creature in the attic and what happened in this house prior with Rupert and his group. You do actually go temporarily insane because you're smart enough to understand what has happened. The interesting thing about failing it is if you fail these types of rolls, your mind just shuts down and you're like, yeah, it's fine. I didn't see what I saw, and you're actually okay.
Oh. What? That's a bad thing.
Can we change the tire roll again?
No. So you're both going to go temporarily insane for 2 hours.
Yay.
So you're going to suffer a bout of madness. So I'm going to roll. And Alwinder, you said you were already kind of like hedging toward the door, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Unless someone stops you, you are going to flee.
Yep.
He's
Deuces.
out. He is like...
He was in the back, so really.
Yeah, he doesn't even really have to get around y'all. He is just... You just see him go... "Huh," and take off out the front door.
Where's my driver?
He had the fucking car!
He's
Yeah.
like running out like, Dilbish, car, now, leaving.
Shit.
Maximilian,
Oh no.
you are now obsessed with the color red.
So I just look at Father's neck like, oh.
He's bleeding.
Ooh. Can I touch? Can I poke? It's red. Can I poke?
No.
It's
no,
red. Can I poke? Please let me poke. I want to poke. Please let me poke.
Me!
What the
Best thing. Alvinder, you get outside. The car is silent, and you don't see your driver.
He's just like, Dilbish? Dilbish?
He's probably just like using the outhouse. It's fine, I'm sure.
And it's pouring rain. You were soaked the minute you stepped outside. And the car is just dark. The clouds have coalesced into the storm front that's moved in. And it's turned the road into mud.
Oh, joy. He's gonna try and like seeing if he can like open the door, hoping that it might at least be like unlocked.
Hoping that it'll be unlocked. Yeah, it's unlocked.
Okay, yeah, he's gonna get inside. He's gonna just like quickly, like he's like desperately searching all around, hoping like the keys are still in here, like bringing down the visor that's up top to see if like the keys are up there or something, or just any sign of the keys. And under his breath, he's mumbling. He's like, once I find him, he's out of the job. I swear to God, I'm gonna have his neck Oh my
Ooh.
god! Oh my god! Oh my gosh!
Choice of words, huh? You open the door and you slide into the car and you're like, wait, what is going on? And you look back and you just see a hand sitting in the back seat.
He is gonna scream. He's gonna scream the screamiest of screams, and just like, oh man, he's like, you just see him like tumble out of the car, like he's like now like in the mud, like just backing away from the car.
Yep. The rest of the driver's body is not around.
Oh my god! Yeah, he's screaming like you. Everybody's probably hearing this.
Oh yeah, you all hear this. So what the rest of you want to do while Alwinder's outside screaming his head off?
I want to go like check on him.
Okay. Jerry's coming running out.
Well, I just keep poking Father's neck. I want
God.
red.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stop the bleeding.
It hurts,
can I make some...
but you can do that. Yeah.
Can I make some form of check to see if I can find any bookshelves or notes or something like that? At this point, I'm just like, great, His Highness has run off. He's being weirder than normal. I'll be the useful one here. Whatever the fuck just attacked us, I need some notes.
Okay. You don't need to make a check up here because what you see is just rotted furniture, but there are no shelves. There's not even really a kitchen in this place. It's just the iron stove in the one corner.
Joy. Looks like we're gonna have to go downstairs.
Upstairs worked so well for you.
Yeah.
Thank you first.
On that note, did I drop the oil lantern?
You know
Oh.
what? That's a good... Make a luck roll.
Oh.
Uh-huh. We haven't done one of these yet. I knew they were going to come up at some point. Oh, no! Fail. Okay. Yeah, you definitely dropped it, and it sure as heck shattered.
Is it on fire?
It snuffed out as soon as it hit the ground. It's too soggy and moldy in here to be a danger. And don't forget, the windows on the front are busted out, so the rain is now coming in. So basically, you're just wet. Everyone's wet and unhappy and injured or screaming. Jerry, when you go outside, Allwinder's in the mud, screaming.
He's just like staring at the car, just.
I go over to him and like try and like get him to calm down.
It is possible to knock someone back into sanity. You can... Hold on, let me double check it. Why don't you make a psychology roll?
Okay.
Yeah, that psychologist right here. He's insane, though.
This is not working out well.
The irony.
So y'all were like coasting through the first half of this, and now...
What a steep drop.
Yep.
No, I failed that.
Ooh, okay. You can get him to come back inside, but he's basically gone into shock at this point.
He's just like mumbling and like you see him like kind of crying, but at the same time, it's not like a wailing. It's really weird. Like you see like tears streaming, and at this level, you normally anybody else is just like their face is contorted and there's just like, you know, crying or wailing. He's not wailing at all. You're just seeing him like mumbling under his breath, like words. All you hear is like his body just got, but like tears are streaming down. Like tears are streaming down, but he's just crying. Like he's not like making expressions. Like face is just still, just weird.
I'm sorry.
Disturbing.
I'm sorry.
No, it's the best. I love it.
You all can hear another thump upstairs, and then this, like, ah! And then this thump outside, and scrabbling up on the roof.
I'm gonna take out my box of salt and I'm going to start a circle.
Start the circle around the bloody staircase. We need to get down. If that finger's gone up and out, it's coming in.
What he said.
Wait,
Who
back
cares?
up, back up.
Look at your fucking neck.
What did you call it?
A bloody thing. It's English colloquialism.
I love it so much. Okay.
I'm going to start the circle where there is the least amount of draft.
So let me get this straight. You all are taking this box of salt, and you're just making a circle. There's no... Okay.
Inscription?
Correct. But also, like, as soon as you... When you make a salt circle, you either got to be outside of it or inside of it, and you can't cross.
Inside, obviously.
Yeah, I think we're...
Inside of it to protect you from... Because we don't have it trapped where we can make a circle around it.
Okay. But if you're making it around the stairs to the cellar, you then have to be on the stairs.
Yeah, at this point, if you guys want to make a circle elsewhere, that's fine, but I'm going to try and dive down the stairs. There's got to be something down there that's useful.
Okay.
I'm just gonna rummage around and see if I can find anything red in the meantime.
Make a luck roll.
Oh, damn. I need something red. Where's my red?
Maximilian's just twitching in the corner.
I rolled a 26 and my luck is 50.
Hey!
Where's my red stuff?
Yeah, you actually do find, you're kind of sniffing around trying to red. And you do find that one of those flannel shirts in the mudroom is red.
Rouge! I grab it. Oh, yes. I say face against it. I just lay on the ground completely, just like a cat finding something and just playing with it.
That's the best
I'm
thing.
gone. I'm gone.
That's the best thing. Yeah, he's in his happy place now.
I'm happy. I'm good.
That's the best thing. All right, so
Can I try to drag Maximilian into the circle?
I don't know if I would fight against it as long as I can keep my red stuff.
Yeah, he's not beyond reason.
Come on, lad. Let's go.
You are the one bleeding, so it's probably better that you did it.
I'm fine.
That's messed up. Oh my god. I have sewn my own... Okay, I'm just gonna go with it. Okay, so downstairs, David.
Yes.
Okay. There is a door, a full-size door to the cellar that is cracked open.
Okie dokie. As much as I'm very blasé and who cares, I'm very much antagonistic and seat of my pants. I did just watch a priest nearly get his throat ripped out. So, can I listen at the door and just lean near it?
Yep, go ahead and make a listen check.
Success.
Okay, so, yeah, you kind of lean in for a second and you're just like, shut up everybody, shut up! And you do hear a male voice say, what if they come down here? What if they come down here? Are they with him? Are they with the thing in the attic? Oh no, what if they're gonna kill me? I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
Okay.
I look up and see the priest cradling the red-obsessed guy and Jerry comforting the screaming prince, and I just go, I'm probably better off with this guy. And I want to do some form of, like, magician's entrance where I kick the door in and do some flash powder.
Okay.
And just go, bam! Presenting the amazing Kragan! I'm not with the thing upstairs.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Yeah, make a fast talk roll.
I mean, can I substitute that for a magician check? Because I literally have a magician skill.
Oh, are you negotiating with the DM? Okay, yeah, I'll let you do that. Never say I'm not a giving god.
Oh no,
Just
I'm
take
going to
a
pay
lot.
for it later.
How
Hard
do you
success.
keep ripping these hard successes out? What the shit?
Beautiful.
Okay. It goes
game's
off
cheating.
without a hitch. You have done this so many times. It's like knowing the back of your own hand, and you just presenting, and you bust in the door, and the very first thing you see, other than just detritus and just junk in this cellar, also bookshelves. You do see a scraggly, older man. I almost said human man, and I'm like, not D&D. There's a hobbit in here now. Very lanky, very, like, this guy's had a hard life. He's got a long ZZ Top beard that's just, like, all tangled up. His hair's matted to one side. He's wearing glasses, but only the frames. There's no glass in them. And he is hunched in the corner with the, oddly enough, that this was David, with the leg of a chair that it looks like he snapped off. Like he's holding it up in front of him and he's like, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Are you with the thing in the attic? Who are you? Oh God, don't kill me.
Did you not listen to my spiel? I'm the amazing Kragan. I'm here to help with the thing in the attic.
I'm deaf
I
in
see
one
books.
ear. What?
Who are you?
I don't know.
Who are you?
I don't know. I don't know who I am. Start sobbing.
And another fucking lunatic. Can I just kind of ignore him and walk to a bookshelf, see if I can find anything that looks like handwritten notes?
Yep. Yeah. So, make a spot hidden roll. Anyone else who wants to attempt this who is not currently losing their mind can do this?
Extreme success.
Holy shit.
What?
That's amazing.
Need to try.
Alright.
I'm just. Can I try to get Maximilian out of his stupor?
Make a psychology roll.
I'm not good at those.
I hope so.
Oh, I'm actually okay.
Oh, okay. Father, you, just by talking to Maximilian quietly, steadily, in a calming, even tone, you do manage to kind of... He's not going to let go of that shirt, but you manage to kind of snap him out of it enough that he can be of use.
I can do stuff again.
You can do stuff again. Maximilian, you're still going to fixate on red things, but it's now only like... You're okay as long as you have your shirt. You're
I
okay.
have my shirt.
Now stop poking at my neck. Okay?
Please also red. Okay,
Alright,
I'm sorry.
Alvinder, you can hear all of this going on. Your instinct is to flee, but I will let you make that snap decision. Like, what do you think he would do in this moment?
I think he's just in shock. Like, he doesn't want to go outside because his dead driver is out there.
Fair.
And I guess more so now, he's just like, I am not going to be alone with a body. I need to be around people, and I don't care where that is. So he's just like completely in shock. Has he started coming back away from his insanity that he's been a part of, or
Something
is he
about
still riding that?
something about Jerry's, kind of in the way that you're vaguely aware of what Father is doing with Maximilian. You can, yeah. Alwinder's blue screened. He's
pretty much.
You feel like if you stay with Jerry, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Jerry, he's like clinging to you.
Just pat him on the head. I'm like, it's okay.
So if she's there, you'll be all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New best friend.
It's an
Yay.
interesting mechanic to where they leave it so up to the keeper as to how people react and how severe it is. Plus, like, you running completely down the road would effectively take you out of the story, and I don't want that. So,
Oh yeah. No.
so David, with an extreme success on a search, you find all kinds of stuff. You find 2 oil lanterns intact. One is full, one is empty, but there is a can of oil as well. And several matches, although questionable on the quality because they've been sitting in a damp cellar for probably a long time. Ignoring the frightened, terrified, slightly psychotic man in the corner.
Thank you.
For now. You, on the shelf, let me see here, find 2 bottles of wine.
Yes.
Various cans and boxes of food, dry food goods. Tins of tea, a few cast iron pots and pans. And underneath the stairs, a tarp, under which is a chest.
Right. I've got my case of magic tricks, which I always carry with me. I open that, shove a bottle of wine in there, close it again, and then head over to the chest and check it for locks and things like that.
Not locked.
I kind of look over at the sobbing, weeping mess that's sharing the basement with me, shrug, and go to open the chest.
Yeah, there's a handful of things in here. You find 6 folded black robes, a cigar box, and a thick stack of yellowed old papers. And I have a handout for you that I'll give you in a second. So, is there anything you want to inspect right now, or do you want to take it all back upstairs?
I will don a black robe, but make sure I don't put the hood up to make sure, because I don't want to freak that guy out anymore. And I would like to open the cigar box.
Okay. Yeah, inside there's a little metal canister. Almost looks like a small tea tin with a lid that screws off. There's a smaller wooden box with a lid that slides off the top. Those are the only 2 things in there.
Oh, great. So it's a box within a box and a cylinder within a box. So nice to know it's just several stacks of things. At this point, I'm getting bored of opening everything, so I kind of take the notes and wander back upstairs to see if everybody's at least a little bit sane.
What are you going to do with the guy in the corner?
Leave him and just like, hey, there's a weirdo down there.
That poor man.
I've just got I've got boxes and papers just in my arm, just like, weirdo downstairs.
Okay.
After hearing that, Father would probably go down and check on the man.
Okay. He is...
So we tag out, great.
Yeah, there you go, your turn. He's sitting in the corner just going, the thing in the attic, the thing in the attic, the thing in the attic. Oh, it killed Maggie. Oh, the thing in the attic. And he's just repeating this over and over and over again.
I'm gonna try to calm him down and ask him if he's accepted our Lord and Savior inside his heart.
Oh my god.
It can only help you if you accepted our Lord and Savior.
That's good. Oh god. Make a psychology roll. Have you found Jesus? Like, it's
Unless you found Jesus, you get no help from me, sir.
What?
I will help him find Jesus.
Out of here with that hard success. Okay. Yeah, you, again, you're kind of doing the same thing you were doing with Maximilian. It works. Don't break a clock, right? If it still tells the time, and you just kind of slowly get him to kind of, and he's still got a hold of that chair leg, like he's not letting go of that. But he pushes his glasses with no glass in them up on his nose and kind of pushes his hair off to the side. So you're not with the thing.
No, we're here to banish the thing.
Can you do that?
The power of Christ.
Sure. Whatever makes you happy at the end of the day. Did you eat my beans?
I found your beans.
No, my extra beans.
No, I'm sorry, but could you
okay,
tell
I'm
me
gonna
about...
go get him. I'm hungry, and he just pushes past you and goes up the stairs.
Just going to go.
Okay, guys, weirdo upstairs now.
I'm just still clutching my red shirt like, yes, he's weird.
I got a spit take.
Almost. My cat is sitting on my robe back here. She's just like, yeah, this is mine. What are you doing? Hi, baby. Okay, so you're all upstairs. The old man who was, you can deduct he was probably using this as a shelter, immediately dashes to the iron stove, which has no fuel in it. There's no wood in there. And he opens the door and there's an unopened can of beans inside, and he grabs it, pulls it out. Can opener. And goes and rummages around and finds his can opener and just starts eating cold, uncooked beans, which is gross.
Can we, like, ask him what happened? Like, why he was huddling in the basement?
He just points up. The thing. The monster. It's safe down here. But if you go upstairs, and then he gets a better look at the father's neck, not in the dimness of the cellar. You went upstairs.
I did. Something attacked me.
There's a thing in the attic. Did it leave yet?
We heard it on the roof. What is it?
I don't know. It's invisible. Kind of. I threw ash at it one time, and you could kind of see it for like a second. But then I must have made it mad, and it took off into the woods, and it got Maggie, and it killed her.
Be right back.
Can I leaf? I'm ignoring the crazy man. Can I leaf through the yellow notes to see what I find?
Yep. All right. So, what do you want to look at first? You've got a few things.
You said I had a stack of yellow papers. I'm looking at those, seeing if there's what specifically. I'm looking for the translated notes from the De Vermis Mysteries.
Mm-hmm.
But anything useful, really.
You do find that. So let me give you this handout. Handouts, so many handouts.
Yay, handouts.
Hey, there we go. So the first one is dated the March 23rd, 1877. And he is talking about, so this is from Marion Allen, the leader of that group. And he's talking about how he got this sarcophagus from his uncle, and there was a piece of amber inside of it, and it resulted in death and madness, and he's going to leave the box with Rupert. Told him not to sell it, don't have it appraised, but he was going to go look for more evidence, more ways of how to do it. But also, the P.S. note is interesting because he says, I write this before I close the lid on the trunk. The thing is still in the attic of the house. It seemed to recognize me and spoke foul curses at me. I will carve protective words on the trunk to prevent any tampering with its contents, just in case.
Fantastic. As a side note, I have a completely blank note for that handout.
See, none of this stuff is working. I don't understand. I give up! Okay. But that's what the note says.
So you said I found the translated notes as well for
Yes.
the banish, so I know how to banish it.
There are 6 sheets of paper underneath that top note, and all of them are copies of a chant that's in Latin that's then been translated into English. It's been, you can tell it's been actually identified as a chant that's been derived from that De Verimis Mysterious. And it states that while the original chant detailed a ritual for releasing the spirit trapped inside the ancient amber, several words within the incantation have been crossed out and replaced in hopes that this would change a summoning ritual into a ritual of exorcism.
Fantastic. Well, I notice we have 5 people in the room, not counting Mr. Crazy, and I have 6 copies, so I want to give a copy out to everybody, except Mr. Crazy, and I want to put that last remaining copy in the warded chest. So I just want to nip downstairs and pop it in the warded chest and shut it again, just to make sure I've got a backup.
I'm just gonna say, like, Arwen, like, I mean, Alwinder is just, he grabs the paper, but he's not even like staring at it. He's just like, and you see his hands like shaking slightly, but he's like, he doesn't know what he's been given. He doesn't care. He just is like still in shock. Unless he started, at least at this point, coming back down.
Yeah, you're coming out of it. You still feel nauseated and cold, and still don't want to think about the car.
Okay.
But you're coming down enough to where you feel like you could shake out of this to be useful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of nauseated, he immediately gets up, runs to a corner, and then just starts dry heaving.
Oh, no! Oh, buddy! Oh!
It's a good thing he didn't have any food yet.
Yike. I would say by this point, you're pushing into nightfall. David, as you're going through the notes, you see that this completely details the ritual. There is a set of symbols that you have to draw on the floor. That you feel like you could replicate. One of you could replicate pretty easily. It's not anything super complicated. There were also, I forgot to tell you, in the chest there were 2 black candles that you will need to place at the cardinal directions of west and east. So you have those. You have matches. You have all of the notes. And you also have 3 sheets of the notes that... thank you. 3 sheets of the notes that detail the ritual. It takes at least an hour to perform and has to be started at midnight. And while at least one person speaks aloud the ritual phrases, another person has to draw the symbols on the floor, while another one burns the candles, lights the candles, and another person lights on fire certain chemical compounds. But it doesn't say what those are.
But you say I have everything for a ritual from the trunk.
Mm-hmm.
So I have mysterious chemical compounds now, but we don't quite... We know we've got to burn them, but we don't know what they are.
Have you opened the canisters in the cigar box yet?
I opened the cigar box, and inside it was the metal canister and an even smaller box.
Right.
So we take it to assume that those are the chemicals.
Probably.
Joy.
So you also, the notes mention that the chemicals resemble brown powder, like an orangey brown powder, and the other one is a silver powder.
Right, at which point I would check both.
Mm-hmm. That's what you find. The canister has the brown powder in it, and it kind of smells faintly like citrus, oddly enough. And then the silver powder actually looks like talcum powder that's just silver. It has that density and that consistency to it.
Sorry, I just lost you after I asked the question. I'm just back.
Oh, no, it's good. So the canister has the brown-orange powder in it that kind of gives off this, like, whiff of citrus. And then the box has a smaller dose of silver powder in it, and it has that same feel and consistency like talcum powder.
Beautiful. Okie doke.
The notes also lay out that one person can perform the chant, but it will go faster if several people take part. The notes also recommend establishing a watcher, because the entity that they have named the Lurker in the Attic is capable of reanimation.
Sorry, guys.
Animation of what?
I think I need to cut this short.
Oh, no, that's okay.
Thanks for the game anyway.
No, thank you for having us.
Speak to you
Bye,
soon.
Kelly.
Yes. So, yeah.
Bye. Take care, man.
Yeah, thanks. You do. Stay safe.
Okay.
Right.
So yeah, you have the notes and the general layout. You just have to take the time to set this up.
Okay, so there was, what, 5 separate tasks and a watcher? So there was at least 1 chanter, 1 drawer, 1 lighter of candles, 1 lighter of chemicals. Oh, that's 4. So
You could probably get the man to help.
yeah.
I will give you that since Kelly had to leave. He completely doesn't know who any of you are, but the minute you told him you were going to try to get rid of this thing, he's like, yeah, okay. Just tell me what to do.
How are you as an artist, sir? Are you any good?
No?
Maybe we just have him be the watcher.
I can do that.
Do you trust that guy to watch?
Yeah.
I can hit
I
things.
mean, he's got a leg. Yeah.
If something comes in here, I'll just beat it. That thing can't come in here. I figured that out, because I think it's because of the carvings on the door. It can't come in here, but it can. It spits, and it makes awful noises, and it sends things.
I mean, I'm sorry, it spits?
Yeah.
Sends things?
It'll sit in the attic and it'll spit on you.
I'm assuming that's not good. I mean, is it
He
blood,
points at a
spit,
hole in the
corrosive?
floor that looks like
Corrosive.
a cigar burn, but it's gone all the way through the floor. That.
Interesting.
So, if you just hear spitting, you move.
Oh my god.
Oh, joy. Right, well, I'm quite happy to orate and speak for chant. I mean, if your highness is feeling up to it, I'm sure you'd love to copy the symbols.
Okay.
I can help you if you want to.
Give me a moment. I'll definitely need some help, please. Anybody have some water?
I take the bottle of cheap vodka and I toss it in his direction, claiming it's water.
Oh, he's not even gonna look at the bottle. He just takes it, pops it off, and just starts drinking it.
Oh my god.
And then, initially he's not really aware of what he's drinking. His mind is elsewhere. And then after a few big gulps, you just suddenly see him grimace, put it down. He's like, one, and stares at the bottle, contemplates it for a second, and then just starts swigging again.
Jake, the old man goes, "Hey, sharesies, come on."
He's if he's his hands coming out, you just see him waving and swatting it away from him.
You're gonna be so drunk. You're gonna be so drunk.
He finally puts it down, though. It's more of just I'm exaggerating it, but it's definitely a little bit more than normal. But it's more of just he needs something to steal his nerves because he is freaking out.
We call that a painkiller.
Yeah, he's numbing his senses just to get away from it.
Okay, very good. As you all are preparing and setting up and you're discussing how you're going to do this and everyone's going to take stations, the hours start to kind of tick by. And this is a point where we'll kind of move narrative time up a little bit. At about 10 o'clock in the evening, just as you're all taking a break, a breather, gearing yourself up, steeling yourself for what's to come because you don't know what's going to happen exactly, you hear this crunch of metal outside. And then a shatter of glass, and then another shatter.
I wonder what's metal and glass outside. Oh no! At this point, I'm drinking that nice wine from the bottle, just sounds like your car's gone, your highness.
Don't stop talking. And he just walks away from him.
Does anyone want to look?
Not particularly.
Not after going
I'm just curious.
insane and slurping red. I'm not
Oh,
going to.
you've shaken that by now, Maximilian.
But I don't want to see anything
It's up to
too
y'all.
scary
I mean,
for a while. Maximilian would probably just sit in a corner and be like, "How can I help?"
Oh my god, I'll look then, since you won't. I'll look.
no one has to.
I'll be the brave one.
I mean, we have a watcher for a reason. We could always send him. If you don't
Oh
want to
no,
go mad.
he's not. Nuh-uh. He's like, I've seen it. I don't need to fucking look at that thing. Because every time he tried to tell you what it looked like, he kind of froze. He just couldn't get there in his memory. It's like his brain blocked off that recollection because it was so frightening or was doing so much damage. Jerry, you get a look outside, and it's really hard to tell with the rain and the wind moving across the front yard of this place. But you do see something, looks like a 3-clawed hand. The fingers extended, they must be 2 feet long. Peeling back the hood of the car like a lid off of a can. And one-handed just... that squeal of metal as it pulls the roof off and waves it around like a flag, like a trophy, and then chucks it at the house.
Oh, that's not
And it lands with a crash against the front door, and then you see another hand pull up the body of the driver with its fist in the rib cage and waves it around like a puppet, and then throws it against the other side of the house, and the body crashes into the siding and slides down.
Does Olinder see this?
Not from your angle, no.
Okay, good.
No, you're focused on the ritual. Jerry sees this though, and then the last thing she sees is its head, elongated, no hair, totally gray-skinned and bald, 3 eyes, and an unhinged jaw with must be what are hundreds of look like shark teeth. Go, and then it picks up the car.
God.
Flings it up above its head as it lands on the ground. And then goes, fuckers, and throws the car off into the woods. And then
Did it seriously say that?
Yep, and then snaps out.
So, I don't think we'll ever...
The car is trash at this point. I need you to make a sanity roll for me.
Okay.
That's why I did go.
You have stared into the face of pure terror.
And it called you a fucker.
Yeah, I did!
Oh, God, that was close.
Wow, success. And you remember from Marion's notes, it did say that it can speak curses.
Really? Really?
Yep,
That's a curse.
it's a curse. I'm
The-
taking
from the sound
artistic
of it-
license with that.
Maybe
Mostly because I could be like,
curse speech.
you know, and speak some like weird nonsense, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, so Jerry, your mind wants to shut down. It wants to shut down, but you also know if you do that, this ritual is not going to happen because these guys are worthless. And you need to hold them together.
Yep. Typical
I mean,
man.
at this point, I dropped the wine when there was a loud bang and it smashed, and I'm just cursing over lost wine.
Yeah, that's sad.
He's fluid curse.
I'm assuming you don't tell the prince about the body.
No, just be like, we can't drive away now.
What? What do you mean? I'm sure one of you could drive. I mean, the car's right out there. Just because he's gone.
Kind of thrown by a demon?
I'm sorry, what?
The car was thrown by a demon.
You cannot just casually say that.
He looks around, finds a bottle of alcohol and just grabs it and just starts like taking sips out of it.
Yep.
We're gonna die. We're gonna die. We're dying. We're dead. We're dead. How do we get away from
okay
here?
with walking. It's fine. We can walk. It's good.
David, we need to finish this ritual real quick right now.
We've got
need
to
this.
wait till midnight. This is why we have a watcher, I suppose. I mean, when they said
Oh,
reanimated,
Oh,
I
he's in
assumed
the
it was...
corner, like not even really paying attention.
Yeah,
Cut,
this
cut.
is why I said don't trust that fucker to be the watcher. But hey,
Literally, all he does is watch.
he's not watching now, is he?
We didn't start yet. I was just drinking. Hey, the prince is drinking. I can drink. Shares, grabs the bottle from you. You know.
Pretty much empty at this point, I think, between us two.
Sad.
Between us two, like he probably has a good few swigs in there for him, but like at this point, there's nothing there for anybody.
Anything that you want to do specifically to prepare for the ritual? If there's anything you want to, if you want to light lanterns, if you want to secure doors, anything that you want to do to create fortifications or defense, or anything you can think of, you can do it now, and then we'll move to the ritual.
I think one thing Alwinder's going to try to do now that he's at this point, like he's pretty much like it's survival mode time. Mm-hmm. He wants to survive, so that's probably helping him keep himself calm. And he's going to, from his knowledge, if possible, from his knowledge of all the research he's done on the occult, try to remember any symbols, any other symbols of protection, of warding, of anything like that he's going to try to like draw around the circle to keep either help strengthen and fortify what's already being done or add to.
Okay. Go ahead and make your occult roll.
Okay. So I think, what was my occult? Where's my sheet? Not that. Occult. Come on. I know it was pretty high. It's like
60?
Up there. It's 60. Yeah. Okay. Come on. Give me something good.
Come on.
Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. 62.
Oh no! Okay, so I will say that you know the symbols that are outside on the door frame. Those you know you can lay down, but any other ones... And so far, those symbols seem to have worked. This thing, if it wasn't being held back by those wards, it would have busted in here and decapitated all of you. So you're fairly confident that you could recreate those, but you don't know of anything else.
Okay.
I'm just kind of getting myself into the performing zone.
Mm-hmm.
So I've kind of accessorized the black robe with my stage outfit. So I've got I've swapped from the gold sequins to a black sequin top hat. I've got my magic wand, which is my long steel wad bludgeoning weapon.
Okay.
I've got that kind of affixed to the side.
Oh my
And
God.
I'm just kind of looking over the chant, just rehearsing, but not doing it all the way, because we all know words have power. So I'll do it in, like, small chunks to make sure I'm not actually casting anything, but just make sure I've got the cadence and the rhythm of it all together, and just pacing back and forth.
And I will say that after the candles are lit and those smaller pieces of the ritual are done while you're chanting, other people can join in to give you a breather. So you all can swap out. And this isn't something that's going to require checks. What's going to take place during the ritual is going to be a different focus. So the ritual, as the story is written, will go off. It's just a matter of how you deal with what comes at you. We'll resolve that as we go. Spoilers. So, because I didn't want you all to be focused on like, oh my god, I need to, do this, and I need to make this check, and we have never played this game. No. So that's what's gonna happen. The storm kicks up, and midnight falls. So
we better start.
So you're gonna start. So David's gonna chant. Jake's gonna watch. Who was gonna light the candles?
Prince, you can, whatever you people want to. I would I would prefer if I could light up the chemicals.
Okay, you can do that.
Yeah.
I like the candle.
Okay. And then Father and I'll wonder if the two of them want to draw the circle.
Yeah,
You can do that.
I'm gonna help.
You both got fairly high occult scores, so that's an easy enough thing to be able to recreate. And prepping this takes a little while, and you know that. So the first 20 minutes are just setting up, along with David chanting, and you get the circle drawn. And just as you start to finish that off, and you're laying down the very last line to close the circle, which you all know you have to be outside of, you hear part of the roof just come off. And slate tiles go crashing to the ground.
Take it easy, Allwinder. We got this.
His hand is shaking right now.
It's gonna
You
be
got
so
this.
wet in here. It's the worst.
Say that again?
It's gonna be so wet in here. It's gonna be.
Oh my gosh.
Rain just pouring in.
The light, the chemicals aren't gonna light. Oh, it's the worst.
What's that gonna do to the chalk?
If I wanted to be mean, I would do that. I'm not going to do that. Okay,
Oh my
so...
God.
We'll say it's special chalk.
Alright, I'm just turning things on. You managed to get the chant going. The chant, a full round of it, takes 5 minutes. So every 5 minutes, you're repeating yourself over and over and over again. And you can feel that monotony already, just, 30, 40 minutes in, kind of setting in. And you can feel your voice kind of giving, and you need to tag out. And have someone, as long as one person is constantly chanting, it will go off.
Alwinder is gonna step in.
Okay.
That works.
Okay, so he's gonna step in. As you step in, you watch David step back a little bit physically, and something viscous and green drops down from the ceiling near David's head, and I'm gonna need you to make a dodge roll. David.
It's that spit.
My
Ooh!
first fail, 49.
Fail! Okay. You're gonna take 2 points of damage. As you manage to move enough, but not quite as far as you thought you needed to, and it's the creepiest thing because the spit, as it hits, just coats your entire shoulder and starts to eat through your clothing.
Motherfucker! And I strip it
Yep.
as off as quick as I can. I've got a switchblade.
Okay.
I bought it from a shop for street magic, and I just put it away and start pulling it off.
There's more minutes pass, and an hour goes by, and you need to do 2. And you hit that top of the hour, and the house goes quiet.
This is not good. I mean, we've got the doorways warded, but can it just step over the doorways? I mean...
Everyone make a listen roll for me.
Alright.
I mean, it's already destroyed the car, like...
The roof.
Yeah.
The roof.
Fail for me.
Fail?
Fail for me.
Fail for me.
Find out what I even have under listen. I don't fast talk. Where is listen up? Oh, this is gonna be. Oh man, there's with my rolls. Okay.
Should we check for the
Okay.
priest as well?
Oh, I failed hard.
I have a listen of a 20, and I got a 20.
Oh, you succeeded. Okay, I can make one for the father. That's a thing that I'm not... Okay.
No.
No, wow, these are bad. I'll wonder, even as you're chanting and you're kind of, like, you're getting ready to swap out with someone else, you hear this, help me, help, help me,
I feel like that's a trap.
help me. And
Oh
it's
my god.
like outside the back window that looks in on exactly where you all are, and you're facing that window.
And am I the one still chanting?
Mm-hmm.
If
Like,
you
can
look
I?
frantically in my direction, I can tag out and take the chance again.
Okay.
Alright. I look at and I tag in. Who's it that?
I'll take it, David.
Okay, David. Yeah, he's gonna tap him on the shoulder and tells him like to switch out. And as they switch out, he's gonna walk forward and not step out of the circle, but try to see if he can look out the window.
Okay. And this is one of the windows that still has glass in it, and you get up to the window and you don't, it's pitch dark. I mean, this is countryside, middle of night in a storm. Can't see anything. Mm-hmm. And just as you start to lean forward, this mangled, rotted body, BAM! Slams up against the window. And it was probably a woman at one point, but her face has been caved in. Her hair is half missing. One eyeball dangles from the socket. And she, help me. And she starts biting at the glass. And you can hear her teeth squeaking against it. And she, help me!
Do we hear that now?
Oh yeah, and you all see it too.
Alwinder is just, he's shouting. He jumps back. He's just backing up. He's backing up like if someone's strong enough to stop him, he's gonna stop. But if not, he's just gonna keep backing up as fast and far away as he can.
Jake is actually gonna swing his chair leg out to stop you, not to hurt you, just to stop you. She's gone, man. She used to give me food and give me jobs, and she's gone. It got her. We gotta get this thing.
He's like pointing at. He's like, that is not gone. That is right there. He's. Oh,
that's the demon. That's the demon's work. That's the demon's work. Oh my God. We got this. You do this.
And while David is chanting what he needs to chant, Alwinder starts chanting in Sanskrit, like Hindu verses. Normally not one to be very religious. He's very much an academic type, and for the first time in his life, he starts like all the gods that he can in his religion. He's just starting to just chant away and try to pray.
Okay. David, how long are you gonna go before?
I mean, I will have recovered a fair bit, but I won't be able to go as long as I used to be able to. And at this point, I'm kind of glaring at His Royal Highness for crossing the streams, religiously speaking. We've got two different chants going on at this point. I wouldn't know whether it would weaken the spell or interfere, so I'm shooting daggers, which you'll probably ignore. But I kind of motion to Max to take over from me, Maximilian.
Gotcha. I will.
So you're going to tag in. You're starting to tick into math. 75 minutes in to the 2 hours. Yeah. So you're starting to... You can, see the light at the end of the tunnel. Jerry, just as you're standing there and you're, there's a fucking zombie outside and this is all bad. I'm gonna need you to make a dodge roll as another drop of spit just comes down from the ceiling.
Let me see. Where is dodge?
Oh God! These rolls are so bad. Oh no! You're gonna take 2 points of damage.
Okay.
You're starting to get the feeling that because this thing can't enter the room, it's doing everything that it can to stop you all from doing the thing that you're trying to do. Because obviously it has self-preservation in mind. You hear another screech and more scrabbling up on the roof, and then something lands out on the front porch. And you watch clawed hands. The wingspan on this thing must be insane because you see one in the one front window and you see one in the other front window. And it's just making these hooked noises as it taps its talons at you.
Can I make an estimate of where the body would be if this was humanoid? I'm assuming it was humanoid, so can I make an estimate of the midpoint between the two and point my gun and try and fire?
Oh shit! right in the front of the door.
Yeah. Because I'm not considering the fact I'm probably going to break the wards when I do this. Right now I just see creature, and I just want to, at this point, my humour is gone.
Yep.
We've nearly got rid of this thing.
Humor!
Oh, man.
Yeah, so this is a firearms roll. It's going to try to dodge. So you're going to make a firearms roll against its dodge roll. Let me see here. Hey, that's the thing that I don't... Okay, that's numbers. Balls, mother bitches. What'd you get? Oh! It rolled better than you did! It rolled a 69.
I could have been...
Nice.
Exactly. So it doesn't... You both basically just negate each other. Like, your shot goes wild because you can, just as it starts to dodge, it goes, David.
Oh, no.
And your shot veers off. So it doesn't take any damage. You don't backfire or do anything, so it's just a flat cancel. David, do you really want to kill me, David?
Fucking yes.
No.
Doesn't give a single shit.
Maximilian, would you like a friend? Do you still like red? I can make them all red. And it's just outside clicking and making these horrible noises.
Okay, so you're chanting like, no.
So you get to the 30-minute left mark, and then the 20, and then the 15. And at about 15 minutes left, as it's outside just screeching and crying for all of you and trying to... Alvin, the prince, he was so tasty. Do you want to bite?
And he just closes his eyes like tightly and then just starts like chanting louder. He's chanting one specific chant called the Hanuman Chalisa. It's meant for like to give courage and protection, and he's just like chanting that away as hard as he can.
Oh, okay. You know at this point that the chemicals have to go into the middle of the circle. And essentially you realize that you could just throw them in and probably just toss a lighted match on it and it's going to light. So who wants to do that?
We said that Max would do the chemicals, so if I would quite happily take the chance to finish off and just kind of signal, start taking over,
Gotcha.
do the hokey cokey.
Okay, so you swap out Maximilian. You know you have to throw the orange brown powder first, and then the silver, and then you can just toss a match in, and it should do something.
I'll do as the ritual book told me. Has something to do.
The first
I'll
one.
do it gently though, like not just throw it in there, but like place it there correctly.
Back,
Make
demon.
sure everything's alright.
You're not gonna just dump the whole like canister in there.
No.
Oh
I know
That's what I would do. I'd be like, oh my god. So
I'll make it worse. I know my stuff.
You toss the first one in, and you see this like flashbang almost, and you all go blind for just a moment. It's not going to be lasting. And you hear this, no! And this thump against the house. And you throw the second one in, and it screeches again, and you hear it. It's like it's being pulled into the house. Like outside,
we're in the house.
Forcibly pulled by some hand. And Maximilian, I'm gonna have you make a luck roll to make sure you don't throw the match clear outside the circle.
Oof.
Okay, so where's my luck? Where's my luck?
Don't
Oh god,
fuck it
that's
up.
50. I rolled a 30 or 29 to be exact,
Okay.
and I need a 50. Fail.
All right. So for a minute, you feel like, oh god, I can't do this. Oh my god, I need to burn everything. And then you chuck it into the middle of the circle, and the entire bit of powder just lights up in this like purple blue flame that it stinks something awful. And you all can see, most of you for the first time, the lurker in the attic, this demonic, elongated, disgusting, kind of almost like twisted form, be pulled through the side of the house. And it crashes through the wall and disappears into the middle of the circle. Now, who was chanting?
David.
This
I
point,
think.
me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know you have to keep going. You haven't gone the full 2 hours.
Yeah.
And you watch this mist start to swirl. The silver and that orange-brown color of the powders all start to wrap around each other and over and over and over again. And soon they're spinning so fast it's like looking into a kaleidoscope and your eyes are kind of going hazy. You have to blink and look away if you're going to keep your focus. And the rest of you see this, and then just this crash happens. And sitting in the middle of the circle is a little girl in a long white dress, and the end of the dress, the hem of it, just trails out to where it almost touches the edge of the circle. Not quite, but it's close. And where her legs would be, you all realize something is wrong. There's too many bumps under the dress. And she looks at you all. Why are you so mean?
Because we are. It's just who we
Oh
are.
my
as
god, oh
people.
my god, oh my god.
Why are you so mean? I just wanted friends.
While chanting, I kind of ready the gun and point it at her mid-chant.
That won't work, you silly Billy. David. What are you doing, David? Don't you want to play?
I think Allender at that point, he joins David. He's like, this is that final steal of courage, and he starts chanting along with him the chant.
Okay. That's mean. Jerry! Hey, Jerry! You know those boys in the newsroom will never believe this. They never believe you anyways. They just grope your ass and try to move you through the newsroom, don't they, bastards? Bunch of dicks. You should cut all their dicks off.
It's fine. It's fine. And I just joined.
Okay. Max. And you watch the bumps under the dress start to move, and you realize that she's raising up. And there's way more knees or something, or joints under that dress than there ought to be. Max. And she starts crawling across the floor. In the circle still, because she can't cross it. Max.
Let's back off. Nope.
Max.
Nope.
Do you remember me,
no.
Max? I'm your girlfriend.
No.
Okay.
Back off. Just keep saying. I just hug my shirt like nope. The red shirt.
Are you gonna join them?
Yeah.
Okay. And she's just kind of floating there, like weaving back and forth as you all are wrapping up the chant. Do you really think that's gonna work? I can guarantee you it won't. There's more of
guarantee
us.
it will.
There's more of us. We exist. We are the demons that never sleep. We don't sleep. We see you.
This is really weird ASMR right now.
And just as you all wrap up the chant, the lurker in the attic, this thing, you see her go, "Oh, you didn't want to play?" And just snaps out of existence.
Oh my god.
You all were so wrapped up in what you were doing. Sorry, Kelly. that you missed the father having a heart attack.
Oh.
And he is now dead on the floor.
Poor Callie.
And weirdly enough, when you looked at that very last moment where this thing disappeared, the energy hit his body and pushed him back into the corner. He's like 10 feet from where he was originally standing. And he slumped in the corner, and there's a scorch mark across the front of his priest habit.
Can I calmly walk up and shoot him once in the skull, please?
Oh my god.
Yes!
When the others all turn, it's just like, the girl, whatever that thing was, apparently it used to be a woman. He deserves better than that.
Okay. Yeah, you absolutely can do that. It's brutal. It's effective. You don't have to make a check for that.
Oh my god.
When you did this, don't worry.
I will say the rest of you are going to lose a sanity point for that. Just because it is... I mean, you understand why. But it's still...
I think I lost a total of 10 sanity points.
Woof, doofa!
Yeah, because I think we lost 9 at the staircase itself.
Yep.
And then I lost this one. And I don't think I lost any more in between that.
I don't think so,
12 in general now.
The lurker in the attic has been dispelled.
Oh, thank God.
Whoop, whoop.
But the ramifications of what it was saying, you don't know. I'm going to give you all a flat 20% in your Cthulhu Mythos
Yay.
skill, because you have definitely seen the other side. But figuring out what this thing was, where it came from, are there really other things like it said? You have no idea. And it would require further research. My cat is screaming at me. So...
Can I storm into the basement, get that other bottle of wine, and just start necking it?
You sure can!
I've just had to headshot a priest after exercising something. I'm going to need a drink.
You have no car. It's going to be a long, cold, couple-mile walk back to town.
Alwinder's swaying. He's already barely drunk.
Poor buddy.
That would just help Alwinder walk normally, like, you know?
Yeah.
Just as buddies do.
No.
And something else you're going to have to figure out is how you're going to explain the body of a priest with a gunshot wound in the head.
Oh.
Bandits.
You all turn around and Jake is gone.
What?
Lost a
He
friend.
ran out the door. He was like, "It's gone, I'm leaving," and just poof.
You can't blame him.
No, I don't blame him either. He left his chair leg behind, though, if anyone would like that as a token of a memory, a memento.
For a dead priest.
Remembrance.
Yeah, you look outside and there's just bits of car.
And not to mention bits of dead bodies.
Yep, bodies. As soon as the lurker was dispelled, that zombie is just dead on the ground. It's animation magic.
So we have to explain 2 dead bodies, at least. Well, 3, because we've got driver corpse as well.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Bandits.
It requires an inventive, I think, explanation. Or a bribe, I'm sure.
Definitely a bribe, I think.
Prince can handle the bribing.
There you go. So yeah, that's Edge of Darkness, one of the starter adventures. I took some artistic liberty with the possessed little girl. I highly recommend the starter kit for this, because it does have the intro rules and then 3 adventures in here. One that you play on your own to get used to the roles and everything, which is really cool. So they walk you through everything that you need to know, and then there are 2 more complicated, like the one we just ran, and then they have another one in here, another adventure. But I hope you all had a good time. I get to be my creepy possessed little girl for the first time ever.
Yeah.
I'm
Good.
so sorry.
It's so creepy.
I'm so sorry. I swear I'm a nice person. I do this really well. Oh my god. So thank you everyone for hanging out with us. I hope we didn't creep you out too badly. I didn't kill anybody until the very end.
James killed him.
You know, poor Kelly. I'm sure he'll forgive me. So, and we did use we were supposed to use the module in Roll20. It didn't work the way I wanted it to, but that's okay. I'll tell you all about the body, how that would have panned out otherwise. I'll tell you about that off stream because I don't want to spoil it. But thank you all for watching, and we'll see you. Oh gosh, when do we have another game? I don't even remember. I don't know anymore. We have Strahd next month. We've got Starfinder. Emerald Endings is our new Pathfinder game that Bran from Spirit of the Wild's Candles is running for us every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. So that just got started, and they are already like off the chain amazing with their chemistry. I was cracking up the entire time. So he's got a really great group there. And we'll see you all next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Still a bit.